Let's roll it, girls.
Hey there, welcome to this episode of Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs. We're your rock and ride guides, Victory
and Skylar,
ready to take you on a pink hue journey through the Elvis's life and music.
But hey, quick heads up, we're not experts, just Elvis-loving gals having a blast in the pink Cadillac.
Our info might have a funky beat, but it's all about the fun, not the perfection.
Picture us dancing in the back seat, sharing Elvis tales, interviews, and good vibes.
Join our sisterhood of fans, share your Elvis stories, and let's roll together.
So buckle up, because with Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs, every journey is an adventure.
Hi guys! Hello! Well, group episode of Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs, Halloween edition.
We have some friends here. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Kelsey, you go first.
Okay,
And
I'm
your
Kelsey.
handle, your handle too.
Oh, I'm Kelsey. I'm basicb _123 on TikTok and basicb co on Instagram.
I'm
Your turn,
Ellie. I'm Elvis.els on Instagram and I'm Illustrations on TikTok.
Thank you so much for coming on. Like, seriously, we love you both so much.
Asking.
We are so excited that you guys are joining us, and we're dressed up. Do you guys want to share who you are portraying tonight? What character?
Yeah, Victory, you go first. Who are you portraying?
I just had a wedding dress, so I decided to put it on. Priscilla and her wedding debut.
Looking gorgeous as always. Kelsey, who are you?
I'm Tulsa McLean.
I love it so much.
The commitment. Guys, Kelsey went to a military store.
Really? Girl, you're handing in on getting drafted in 2020.
See this and be like, she looks good in a uniform, sign her up.
No. What are you dressed as?
That's the way it is, Elvis. When he's laughing at all of the cards, reading the messages, having a joke. That's me.
And this is who I brought up the picture, okay? I have these pants, and everyone keeps telling me that these pants look like Denim Elvis, and I said, bet, I have a jacket that looks like Denim Elvis, so I'm gonna move the camera if you're listening. I'm sorry.
I love it. You look so good. You look so good.
Denim Elvis today with my vintage glasses, so
It's perfect.
anyways, today, guys, we just wanted to do, first of all, Victory and I don't have mics, so sorry if it's not giving. We had technical difficulties. Second of all, we just wanted to do like a fun Halloween thing. Like, this is going to be super chill. We are going to have a live audience if you're listening to the audio right now and we start talking or asking questions from the audience or saying random names. It's because people are chatting. So we're kind of going to acknowledge everyone here. Yeah. And then we're going to ask these girls some questions, play some trivia, and just have a fun little Halloween celebration. So,
and for those of you, I see your numbers are going up over here. For those of you who are joining, feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. We'd love to give you a shout out on the podcast. Say hi, and yeah, let's start rolling. Let's roll it, girls. As David would say.
Okay, hi ladies. We have a live studio audience at the moment too. Are we ready to get this Halloween episode kicked off?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're so excited. Everyone's so scared that they had to turn on their cameras and they're going to be seen. No worries at all.
No.
It's just us4 that's going to be seen.
Yep. Again, we just, as more people came in, we just wanted to do this fun little Halloween thing just to celebrate, because why not? I know that Elvis wasn't really like a fan of Halloween, like he didn't really participate in Halloween. I like actually tried researching it a little bit last night, like if there was like a main reason. I couldn't really find anything other than just like he was busy, so he didn't have time to do Halloween. Like, do you any of you guys know why at all?
No, I actually was wondering that the other day. I was like, there's not any, like, I mean, there's a couple pictures, but they're at parties or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would have loved to see him in a costume, but it's okay.
Right.
But anyways,
There was one story, I don't know if you've heard it, where him and Priscilla dressed up as like old people, and they went and took over to Vernon's house, and they knocked on his door like dressed up, and they found it hilarious because it was Halloween. They were pretending it's trick or treat, and he was like, "Who are these old people?" or something like that. I can't think of the full story off the top of my head, but
I remember that. Yeah.
I forgot. Victory, you told me that the other day.
Yeah. I was like, there is one instance.
Was that in her book or something? I can't remember.
That was in her book.
That's so funny. I love that. At least he did something, so it's okay.
I was like, that's the only story like I recall of him ever dressing up. He might have done it another year, but just it hasn't been recalled yet or brought up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Christmas makes up for it. He loved Christmas, so.
Oh, exactly. It's more
Okay, so as we get started, obviously we're going to ask you two ladies some questions because we know you both very well, but the audience doesn't know you guys. And we really wanted to bring, a lot of people in the past have asked for like fans to come on. And so we were like, let's have Kelsey and Ellie on because y'all do amazing things in the community. Okay, so first, starting with Kelsey, how did your Elvis journey start?
Well, mine is like so cliche because it's like all of you. I saw the movie, but the crazy thing about it is that like I remember hearing about it coming out in the theaters. I'm like, I'm not gonna like go see that in the theater. I'll wait for it to like come on streaming. So that's like how disconnected I was with like Elvis or anything about him. And then so it came out on HBO in like September, I think it was. And I saw it and it like changed my life, obviously. And yeah, I had to know everything about him. Like after I saw that movie, it was like a literal switch turned off in my head. And I was like, first off, how did I not know about this person my entire life? Because I grew up like listening to music of that era and watching movies from that era. And like, I was obsessed with Marilyn Monroe and like, I knew who he was, but I just never, he just kind of went by. He was literally like, when I think of him before, it's like, oh, he's that guy you see in antique stores everywhere. Like, that's who I thought Elvis was. And he like sang Blue Suede Shoes and Hound Dog. Like, that's all I knew about him. And so, yeah, once I watched that movie, I had to know everything. I've read like probably like 20 books and every documentary, and yeah, and here we are.
Peter, you read the book.
I am really fast. Once I'm committed.
It's a lot of books to go through too because there's so many perspectives. So that's why I started picking up Audible. I feel like it's so much easier when I'm driving just to like get through chapters.
Right. Yeah.
Ellie, what about you? Let's hear about your journey.
So I feel like it's like you, Kelsey, but Elvis has always been the background for me. My dad enjoyed his music, so I've always heard him. And then I saw the movie, and honestly, it was just like, I think I'd enjoy that. And I came out a different person. It changed my life. And it sounds crazy to people that like just don't get it. I always say like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And that's okay.
Uh-oh.
But for the people, like it's just it's opened up a whole new community of people to the Elvis world. And I just think it's so beautiful. So yeah, it was the movie for me too.
I love that because I just feel like it just goes to show that like 4 people have come together who literally would have not known each other if it wasn't for the movie. Like, it's just crazy. Like, none of this would be a thing right now. And I just love it. So thank you, Baz. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Elvis. We love you. Thank you. I love it.
It's so weird. Like think about how many movies we watch all the time and none of them like affect, it's weird how it has affected all of us in a similar way and brought us all together to just like create what we're creating. And it's pretty crazy.
It's literally like one decision can like change your life. Like, what if we all were like, like something came up, like I can't go to that showing of Elvis at 7 p.m.
Right.
And then you don't see it. Like, it's just it's just crazy how the universe works.
It wasn't even like a movie like I sought after. It was just like the movie that was most available and looked entertaining at the time.
Right.
It was one of those things where I stumbled in, and then it was like a rabbit hole from there. Just
Right.
kept in more and more and more.
And by the time it was over, you were just like, this is my new personality.
Yeah.
I remember, like I went to my car, I went on my own, and I sat in my car afterwards, and I took a photo of my, like, put on my story, and I was like, what do I do now? I've just seen a film that's literally changed my life. And I just wasn't even kidding. Like, it just wasn't even me. I thought I was kidding, and then half an hour later, I went into the next showing of the movie. The same day.
Are you?
I could not wrap my head around how I felt.
Oh my god!
It's amazing.
Ellie said, I'm going back right now.
She's like, I'm not even waiting till tomorrow. I'm going to the next showing.
She really was transformed. She was moved. Holy cow.
Did anyone feel like sad after they saw the movie?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I think the first time, like, I was like, I just had a strange feeling, whereas, like, I just knew that it had just shifted me in a way. And then the second time, I sobbed. The first time I did not, but the second time, it kind of sunk in. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's that, at the end,
The second showing of the day you went to.
Yeah, not on the fourth or anything.
It like felt like a huge wave of like post-concert depression for me. Like I was just so depressed for like 2 days after, and it was like in my head it was because Elvis was dead and I'm never gonna see Elvis. And then I was like asking everyone older than me in my contacts, like, have you seen Elvis? Did you see Elvis live? Did you see Elvis live? And then if someone said no, I'm like, how dare you? Like, you had a chance yourself. I'm mad at you.
Right.
I honestly, I was like in this weird fever dream after, because my mind could not stop thinking about his story and his relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like I was like living my life, but also my mind was like elsewhere constantly.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, totally.
They're all looking at me like,
yeah, sure.
okay.
No, we agree. Don't you worry.
No, we're right there with you.
I'm just happy.
It's interesting though, because my sister, she asked a question like not long ago, and it was like, I don't understand how you and your friends have watched. Like, she said it's a good movie, but I'm not like, I haven't come out obsessed with Elvis like you guys. And I was like, I can't explain it. I can't. Like, I wish I could.
Right.
I can't.
Maybe it's like
love an explanation of why I am the way I am.
psychologically, I think we all need to go get tests done to see if there's something in our brain that are like a little bit similar, and it just
You could also think of it as like Elvis just like handpicked us to be like fans, you know? Like he was like sitting there like, okay, magic's gonna work on you, and magic's gonna work on you, and magic's gonna work on you. Now y'all are transformed.
Right.
I wanted to know if my husband was going to react the same way. Kelsey, did your husband react the same way? No.
No, he'll come home he's like, you're watching that movie again? And I'm like, and?
Someone from the audience says, not everyone can have excellent taste.
Exactly.
That's on here.
Oh, and Jordan says, that's why she saw it in theaters 6 times.
I didn't get to see it in theaters until it came out, like when the Oscars came and they put it back in the theaters. That's like the first time I got to see it in theaters, and I went and saw it twice. And I was super sad I like had went that long without seeing it in the theater, you know?
Did you see it when it came up on like one of the streaming platforms?
Yeah, that's how I saw it. I saw it on HBO when it came out on HBO.
I love it.
Wild.
I love it.
Wild.
Well, let's pivot for a second, and both Ellie and Kelsey are like talented in like 2 different areas, and it's amazing. Like Ellie's super known for her artwork. She is an illustrations artist, and Kelsey makes the most amazing edits. So I want to pick, but you don't even shake your head.
No, really do.
Scroll on my page, and I see an edit that hurts my feelings, and it's Kelsey's.
Right. At 8
I feel the same about you. I swear to God, sometimes I'm like, she's out to get me. Like, she's purposely posting this to make me cry. I know it.
intentional.
Right.
Okay, so actually, Kelsey, let's start with you first. When did you so you became a fan from the movie, and then did you just start making edits? Because
No.
I feel like you've never obviously done that before.
So,
No,
oh my God.
absolutely not. No.
Sorry, that was really good. So, I finished the movie. I was like, oh shit.
Gotta get a quick edit in now.
Wait, what was the
Sorry.
question?
Just when did you start making edits? Like, how did that come about?
Okay, so I saw the movie and I started doing my research, and I was like coming across all these like, I was watching the movies and reading book or watching outtakes of things, and I was just like, I have to share this with people. And I have a personal TikTok but it has a pretty large following, and I started to like post some Elvis stuff on there, but like my followers, that's like not what they were following me for. They were following me for like mom stuff, and so it just felt weird to like be posting and talking about Elvis, all of a sudden. So it's like, okay, I have to make like a second account, and I just started like sharing everything I was like learning, and like movie clips that I thought were hilarious or scenes, and then I don't really know how I got into actually editing. I don't know. Like, I had a photography business when I lived in Washington. And so I've always been like creative as far as that goes with things. And I wanted to learn how to do that. So I watched some YouTube videos, and I just kind of like started. I mean, if you go back on my page and like see my first edits, they're embarrassing. I probably should delete them. They're like so embarrassing.
Do not.
Sometimes I'm like, I should like remake this because it could be better, But yeah, and I don't know.
That's so inspiring, though, of how you decided to like, go out and like learn to do something for something that you love.
Right.
All these girls look up to you because they want to edit and like make quality content like you do as well. So you're doing a good job.
Thank
Just
you.
complimenting. You're doing great.
It literally is like at nighttime. I haven't been doing it lately, but it was my kind of when I was laying in bed to just kind of like zone out and relax. It like calms me to just kind of like be like in the moment and have a vision in my head or whatever. And it really helps with like my anxiety because I have really bad anxiety. So yeah.
No, I love that. Like the fact, first of all, I feel like I just learned like 2 new things about you, and I like see you more than anyone in this show right now. That you have a mom TikTok.
Oh God. I don't like
that.
to talk about it. I actually haven't posted on there since June. I'm pretty sure people think I've probably passed away or something. I've just been so involved in my Elvis life but it's hard to do both right now.
Yeah. Well, that's victory.
Huh?
That's like victory with your horse.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because like I had almost to 400,000, and like I was literally making content, and making money off of it, and I just like passed away, and everyone's like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm still." Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Someone wants to know, Skylar, in the comment section wants to know how you picked out your name, Basic B.
It's really it's really like not inspiring or like it's very uneventful, but it's also like I have an Etsy shop, and I had to come up with an LLC for it, and I was like trying to come up. I had like desert this taken, and I was like, let's just say like Basic B, and it was available. Obviously, there's no businesses in Arizona called Basic B, so I picked that. And then when I made my account, I was like, well, because I thought I would link the two together, but But then when I started making my account, I was like, I don't want to push stuff on people, and I just want to focus on making content. But I'm basic too. I love like pumpkin spice lattes and Uggs, and
Yes.
How you do? Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah.
No.
Lena says, I'm a basic bee.
Yes, right?
Yep.
Inspiring.
So inspiring.
It is so funny though, because I remember when your video started popping up on my For You page, and I was like, who is Basic B with the tongue as their profile?
And now, like, do you saw when I tried to change my profile picture
Yes.
of Elvis for like, what was it, 4 hours? And I'm like, I can't do it because nobody would know who I was.
No.
And like, they know the tongue. It's the tongue.
Yeah.
Well, originally when I saw your account, when Skylar was like, I'm gonna go meet up with her, I was like, she shows her face. I thought you were like one of the accounts that like hides themselves and like isn't gonna do a face reveal. And I was like, what does she look like? Tell me, what does she look
Oh
like?
my God.
I would
That's-
never met with Kelsey if I hadn't seen her face. I just want to say that first of all. And I'm not meeting with a stranger.
Right. And if you had, I would have been like, you're kind of weird. Why would you? That's like why I wanted to make. Well, first off, I don't show my face on TikTok because I'm afraid people from my other account will find me, which is dumb. But
Just do it.
But I thought with like when I started doing my Instagram, I was doing stories, and then I was like, I can show my face there, and people can like see who I actually am, because I didn't want to be just like a tongue. So
Yeah.
That's all I knew you as, and I was like kind of scared you were never gonna do a face reveal, but I'm so happy to have like met you in person.
It's hard in the Elvis community because there's so many, like, everybody has an Elvis like face on their socials, and I'm like, I have no idea what this person looks like, but we're friends, and I'm fine with it. But it's funny. It's like the only community that you just don't know who people are.
Exactly. I know.
And I feel like that happens actually in a lot of communities as well. Like a lot of people will put their profile picture as like the artist or whatever. And like into this community, I was like really used to that. But it shocks you when like someone like puts their face on the story or something, or reveals their age, and you're like, I did not know.
No, I have to say though that like I've met a lot of people on here that will message me, like DM me and send me a picture of them, and they're like, this is me, like this is my and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad to put like a face to the name, and I love that. So
I love that. Okay, well, Miss Ellie, it is your time to shine, sis.
Ma'am, Miss Talented Drawing Queen over there.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
So talented. The one who did our logo, the one who makes beautiful portraits of Elvis and little baby Lisa, and just all these stunning artwork. Tell us how you started all of this. What was your inspo?
Honestly, when I love something, I want to create. Like it inspires me to create. And so for my job, I do a lot of stuff I don't want to create, but I have to. I'm stuck in a creative box because it's like I follow a strict brief and stuff like that. So I have like in my downtime, I do things I love, and that's where like the passion of his inspiration comes from. Even if it's just his fashion, even if it's just, I don't know, something like with a deeper meaning that I can add to the drawing, so it's like more detail. It's things like that I'm just inspired to show him in a creative way. He was a creative himself in a different way, but that's how I like to think about it, like I guess it's like my hobby stuff on the side of what I do for work.
So almost like an outlet. And there are some people in the comment section saying they have your guitar keychain that you drew. Yeah. You have an Etsy shop?
Yes. I've got an Etsy store, yes. But and I'm always releasing new stuff like that I'm passionate about. So yes, there is the guitar. The guitar is probably my favorite too. I have it on my keychain. I love it.
It is so cute. No, your merch is so beautiful. I love every time you come out with like a new design. I'm always like, oh, what did Ellie make? Like,
thank you. Thank you.
But first of all, we have to thank you times 100 because you made our logo, and you are a very busy woman. If you guys don't know, Ellie is like a boss babe over here, okay? Like, Ellie
lives multiple lives.
She's booked and busy.
Montana.
She doesn't just do customs for anyone. And so when we went to her and we're like, hey, would you possibly make our logo? She welcomed us with open arms. I just want to say thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
It's fine. Honestly, it was a pleasure.
Like, and
you saved us. You guys don't understand. Ellie saved us. Our original logo was atrocious, and Ellie came in and was an angel and literally made it look so heavenly and flawless. I don't know how she does it. Like, beautiful.
I gave
you legal advice too. Like, go back to this person.
How to get a refund. Like,
I feel like we should actually tell the story of the original logo because no one knows about it, and you should bring up the photo if you have it, Victory.
Let me find it. Okay, you tell the photo. You tell the story. I'll find the photo for the people who are in here.
So essentially,
I'm so nervous.
Ellie's the part-time lawyer. I'm screaming. She literally is though. So when we first started getting stuff going with the podcast, we always were like, oh my god, like we need a logo, and we were always kind of stuck on the logo like for a while, and then Victory was like, we're just going on Fiverr and we're gonna go buy a logo. And we're like, and she'd used Fiverr before because she also did some stuff with her horse account. I was like, cool, whatever. And so you can pick your artists on Fiverr, and we looked at some different designs and we were like, okay, this artist looks the best to go with for what we were thinking in our heads. And it was like $100 for 2 characters. And so we were like, okay, that's fine. And the woman, like, she sends us the first proof, and we were just like, this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a joke. It was like, we sent her the specific outfits we wanted. We said we wanted to be in front of the Graceland gates with the pink Cadillac in front of us, like driving through the gates, essentially. What we wanted was actually kind of complicated, but like, she just took like Google images and like pasted them together. And Victory and I don't look like ourselves at all. We don't look like ourselves. And let's just,
Oh my god, I'm so wet.
just show the photo.
I'm trying to go. Let me turn off my light.
Look at that. What is that?
Look at those bodies, though.
Those are not us. Those are not our bodies. Our bodies are not proportionate to ours.
And we have to add that the background are stock images that you just grab off Google. And it's the only because you sent it to me, and I was like, you do realize you paid someone to take the free stock images offline. So I was like, you need to go back to them and tell them.
Yep.
Not what you want.
No.
Hey, wait, also the hands. Yeah, look at our chicken fingers. It's actually like look what is that? If I can even see it, like,
can you zoom in on
the chest area too? It's like lopsided on you both.
Victory's chest is not proportionate. My head is zoomed in. Like, what is
you
that?
zoom in the faces too.
It's like over here. Yeah. They're like burrow.
It's a jump scare.
I'm sorry, but she made you an 8-year-old woman. I'm sure of it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Angelina said, Victory looks like she's going to the club, and Sky looks like she has a PowerPoint presentation at 2, and that is the most accurate thing I've ever heard.
I would never wear that to the club, first off.
You guys should like get that framed though, and just like have it.
Honestly, should.
Oh,
You should.
The seller. I just told her, I was like, look, I need to cancel this. Like, we're not going to use this. And she was like, that's so unprofessional. And they gave us our refund.
I said,
oh my gosh.
I'm not the type of person to do this, but we need our money back.
She wants a t-shirt of that look.
Do you imagine? Oh my god. Yeah.
So then Ellie created a little group chat that says the real podcast logo. And I was like, amen.
I wasn't having it.
Yeah, Ellie's is much better.
No.
Thank you.
Literally in the bin. In the bin.
What did you say, Sky?
I said in the bin.
Oh yeah, in the bin, down the toilet.
I've been quoting that every day at work, and no one gets it at all. I'm like, get in the bin. They're like, huh?
It's a British thing. It's from Ellie.
If you're gonna act like trash, get in the bin. So simple, you know.
So funny. And let me preface this, that during this whole fiasco, I, for some reason, did not even think to ask Ellie. Like, and we paid for it. And then Victory texted me and said, why didn't we just ask Ellie to do it? And I said, oh, fuck. Why didn't we ask Ellie to do it? So here's us, like, going into Ellie's DMs after this whole fiasco, like, hey.
And sending her what we have. And we're like, please save us.
I was like, first of all, you need to tell them you need your money back because they are using stock images. I was like,
yep,
not having it.
Yeah, we messaged Ellie and we kind of told her our vision, and she just like started sending us like things that she drew up, and then like we made edits, and then finally like the whole thing like came together, and like she just did it so wonderfully. Like, Ellie, you're so talented. Like, everyone here said, like, extremely.
That's beautiful.
And
thank
so, yeah,
you.
Again, thank you for doing that for us.
You're so welcome.
I'm grateful. I just can't be looking like we're clubbing by Graceland and PowerPoint presentation at 2:00.
No, we can't.
In front of the Google stock images of Graceland in a Cadillac. I don't even know. Like,
As also,
it's the way you asked for something completely different too.
I know.
Like, you asked for something completely different, and then she's just gone, well, actually, I've got all of these. Like, that's definitely, your bodies were definitely a template.
Yes.
That she just uses for everyone.
the outfits that Ellie drew us in is what we sent the original artist of the outfits that we wanted to be in. Ellie knew what to do. The other girl was like, nah, club and PowerPoint, we got you.
Yep.
It was like clip art, like
literally
outfits.
Copy and paste. She said copy and paste. Okay, so we are going to talk about 2 more things, and then we'll probably do a couple trivia cards, and then some people asked us some fan questions. We always ask for fan questions, and so people submitted some in advance, so we'll do those as well. But Kelsey, you have quite the trips coming up. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Going to Vegas?
I'm going to Vegas next weekend. I can't believe it's already next weekend. That's so crazy. I was trying to get Sky to go with me, but
I can't talk about it. I'll start crying.
yeah, I'm going to see Priscilla on next Saturday and doing a meet and greet. I just like don't even know what to do with myself.
Sweetest human ever.
I know.
I promise you, she's so sweet.
I can't wait to meet her. So I'm doing that. Huh?
You should go dressed like that.
You.
Don't tempt me.
You should be like, does this outfit look familiar to you?
Right? Does this bring any feelings back or whatever?
How does this make you feel?
Right. Yeah, so
Are you gonna do any of like the Westgate stuff while you're there?
I've been there before. I haven't really. I mean, I'll probably like stop in there before I leave. I'm staying at the hotel that she's doing her show at. I think that I'm gonna go and get like a lightning bolt tattoo while I'm there, because I'm like, first off, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to see Priscilla. Like, it just feels, I want one regardless. Like, so I figure like maybe this is just the perfect time to like get it. And it's not going to be like, it's just going to be like a little, thing.
No, that'll be so.
I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Where are you thinking about placing it?
I think I'm like going to do it like somewhere like around here.
Cute.
Yeah. And then I do Graceland in December. I'm doing Graceland in New York. And it's hard to even like, it doesn't seem real. Like that I mean, I know I'm going, but like, I can't even fathom like walking through those doors. And I'm doing like the nighttime Christmas tour. and finding out all that stuff from your guys' podcast, like what Angie was saying, I was literally in my car and I was like, oh my God, what? Oh my God. Like, wait, we go on a tractor? What? I was just freaking out because I just thought we went at night and like got hot cocoa and I was good, you know?
No.
And so I can't wait. I'm trying to like prepare myself because I'm not an emotional person, but ever since becoming an Elvis fan, like I literally probably cry like once a day. Something about him makes me, so I just know like finally like being able to walk through those doors at nighttime and it's so quiet and just like being in that presence, I know I'm just it's like gonna wash over me. And so I'm like trying to like prepare myself because I want to be able to like enjoy it and just like take it in, and I don't need to be like crying and so I'm just so excited.
You should let the emotion flow. Like there's no stopping it. Like it's just gonna take over you. Like it's so emotional. Like there's maybe even a point where you're like, I feel like I need to cry, but like I can't cry for some reason. Like there's no telling what will happen emotion wise if you're there.
And I'm afraid that I'm not gonna. I just want to be in the moment and feel it all. And so
I'm so excited for you. I'm gonna be experiencing that too in December, so I feel you.
You've never been there yet?
No.
Oh my God.
Have you?
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We might be going at the same time.
No, I think you're going right after her victory.
By the beginning of December. Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaving around the 17th.
But I'm only in Memphis for 2.5 days, which is like nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I know that I'm going to be leaving, like we're going to New York right after, but I know I'm just going to be like, I wish I could have stayed longer. Like, I wish I could have seen this or that. Like, so that's for Elvis week. When I go.
Yeah. Elvis week.
Yeah.
Ellie, do you have any advice for Kelsey for like being in the moment? Because I feel like you're really good with that.
I honestly would I know it's like to take pictures. I went back to the house and did not take my phone out. So I could literally like be so present in that moment. So I had like the VIP tour and then I went in later on, like I went back. And it was so quiet in the house. And I was just able to be present within my feelings and just really take everything in. Because when you're on your tour, it's hard because you're listening, like you want to hear everything that the tour guide's saying, and then you like go through and then like that's it, then you're outside again. So like I made sure I went back to the house because you can with the VIP tour, you can go back to the house at any point you want. And then to go back and be able to I looked at every detail that I wanted to look at. It was quiet and it was I just didn't take my phone out once. And like, that's my biggest advice. If anyone wants to really take those emotions in is to like put that phone away, take your pictures like with the VIP tour, and obviously I'm not saying like, don't take your phone out, but that I think for me, it was really important to just have no connections to anything but that present moment.
Because I'm doing the nighttime tour, I don't know if like, am I able to tour the house during the day?
I don't know, actually.
That's what I need to find out because that I'd like to do. Like, I'd like to be the first, like, just take pictures and then like at night I can like actually, because that's what I'm worried about, like overstimulated. Like, I got to take a picture of this and that, and not being able to like see it and like feel it, as I walk through.
Even if you don't end up being able to go back a second time because it's a nighttime tour, that's what your second trip is for. Like, that's what Elvis Week is for. Because that's like what I was telling myself when I was there, because I was the same way. Like, I was like taking pictures of everything. And there's still stuff to this day that I know I didn't take a picture of. And I'm like, damn, I wish I took a picture of that because I would like to go back and reference it if I could. So I I definitely encourage taking pictures of whatever you want. But it's like the same thing that Ellie said, like, also trying to be in the moment is so important because it can be so overwhelming. Like, you are surrounded by literally everything that man has touched, that has lived through his life, that he used in his everyday life. Like, it is insanity. Like, you just cannot believe that you're literally standing there in the spot that you have read about in all of these books. Like, it's just, it's so crazy. So you got this, first of all.
I feel like with the VIP tour, because you can go back if you've been in the morning, I feel like you could probably do it backwards. I don't think that they would be like, no, you have to wait. I feel like you would be able to, with the VIP, turn up and sort of, I don't know if that's for sure, but I just don't know why they wouldn't stop that just because you have a nighttime tour.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I thought too. I just need to find out.
I will.
I'm excited.
I can check on that for you, and see if I can get you an answer for that. Because I would like for you.
I would like to just point out, because in the comments there's Haley who says twinnies, so we're Grayson twins, and you will never know who you'll bump into. That was my first tour, and me and Haley, we didn't know each other. We had never spoken before, and then she found me on TikTok and was like, "I was on your tour," and now we're friends.
Well, I know somebody who is doing the same tour as me. Like, we share our countdown and stuff. So,
isn't it crazy? Like, it's just like how we, like, I had actually the same thing happen. The girl that was on my tour, she popped in my live one time and was like, "Hey, like, I was in the tour with you," and I was like, "How did you find me? Like, what is happening right now?" Like, it's just crazy how, like, little things like that happen, and now, like, I just love that. That's all.
Right.
That's what makes it so special being in this community. I tell you now, like, you just don't know who you're going to bump into, who you're going to come across.
Yeah.
Genuine friendships.
Yeah. Same with Angelina's talking in the chat. Her and I missed each other by a day. Like, that's actually insanity. Like, it's just, you never know who you're going to see or who you're going to meet. And
specific point to be at that time. It's like not just a normal thing to be at Graceland. It's not a spot to be, but if you're there and the right people are there, it's gonna happen. I'm excited for Elvis week. I'm so excited to like meet everyone and see everyone.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun.
It's gonna be a trip, and it's gonna be so nice to actually be there and not have to watch it through a phone screen.
I know. Ellie, were you at Elvis week?
I wasn't this year, but I will be next year.
Okay, I think that was Alex. Okay, I don't know why I thought you together. Okay.
It was so hard watching that whole week play out. Like on stories and things like that. I was like, loved that everybody was having the best time, but I'm just like sitting on my couch, like with the worst FOMO.
Riley said, "The girl I met on my tour is the reason I am in this community today, and it's insane."
Aww.
See, it's like little things like that. Elvis is bringing everyone together. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Kelsey, is anything you're doing in New York Elvis related?
I mean, I'm sure I'll find. I really want to go to the Hard Rock, the Paramount. Where the theater was. Like, I want to do that. But like, so like, I'm going with a girlfriend, and like, I'm planning like the Memphis side of it, and she's planning like the New York side. Really, we're going to New York just like eat food and look at Christmas stuff. Yeah. So I'm sure like I'll try and be like, oh, we should like go down this street, and then be like, oh my god, the Paramount, like. So the whole trip is not about Elvis, but like trying to make it all about Elvis.
She like has no idea, and you're just like, oh, like that street has something good on it, and then it's
a really good photo op. Let's go.
I was gonna say, like, someone just posted photos of the Paramount Theater, and it's actually Riley who posted them, who's in this chat right now.
Right.
Which I loved that side by side she did, and I love how the theater literally looks the same too.
I'm
so happy when people keep that time era and just keep it alive, because it's so hard. Like, even when we went to Vegas, it was so hard to envision what the booths look like in the theater because it was totally stripped. Even like when we saw his suite upstairs, it was hard to imagine what it looked like because we don't even know what it looks like. There wasn't many photos taken, so it's just hard to picture these moments.
Yeah, 1,000%. Angelina actually brought up a great point. She said, I'm not sure if I missed it because I left for a second, but has Ellie talked about her upcoming trips? And that is actually our next question. So, Ellie, you just went to London to do something very special. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was invited for a sneak peek before it opened of the London exhibit. And the things in there are insane. It's insane, especially like because I've been to Graceland. I thought, oh no, they're going to bring up stuff. Like I would be grateful to see the stuff again, but like I'm going in January, so I was like, I hope it's something different, you know. And it is. There's some seriously special stuff there, like personal stuff to Elvis. And it was really funny. They tried to like give me a headset, and I was like, do I need this? And he was like, oh, you don't need to have it if you don't want. And my sister was my +1, and I literally gave her a tour myself of like, oh yeah, and then this, and then this. And she's like, how do you know all this? I was like, I just do. I just love him. But there's some seriously special things there.
And if you guys haven't looked at her Instagram, because she's been posting like little bits by bits, which I actually love that like you're saving like a lot of the stuff so people can go experience it for themselves, because I feel like a lot of times things will get posted and then it's like, oh, like I didn't really want to see that, but that's okay. So the stuff that you've been posting is like crazy. Like, hello, let's talk about what you've been posting, like the past 2 reels you just posted.
So there was the cross that Linda gifted Elvis, which I said this when I was like to the people that were on like there that worked there. I was like, you don't understand how much the fans have wanted to see this on display. Like it's very special because it's their birthstones entwined like on the cross, on the Maltese cross. Like it's special. And to see it, and he's worn it so many times in so many photos. When you see or like footage, he's got the cross on. So to see that exact cross, I was like, my mind was blown. I was so happy to see it there. And it's just never really been on display. And I was like, just like fangirling that I could see this. It was so, so special. And then I posted today, and it's probably I was like sitting on it for ages. Like I've wanted to post it, and I've seen like nobody actually spoke about it. And I was like, I think I just would hate the thought of people actually walking past this and being like, oh, that's cute. Like it's a serious, like it's something that was incredibly important to Elvis. Like it was in his bedroom, and it was the Jesus Christ statue. And that's like going to be something sacred to him. Like that was by his bedside, and it's only taken from his bedside when it's on display, and then it's put exactly back where he had it. And like that to him would have been something so special. And I was like just so passionate. I wanted to make it a point. So if anyone did see that reel, that they'd be like, actually, that's so, so special. And because I just don't want people to walk past it, because it's such a huge part of his life. And that's why I was like, no, I can't sit on this any longer. I'm going to have to post about it, because like when people are going, I just want them to stop and think, oh, wow, I know a bit more about that. I think that's so special.
When you posted that today, I was like, because I had no idea that was there. I was like, hello? Like, why is no one talking about this?
Right? That's why I was like, I've been sitting on this. Like, I had to share it, because I'm like, I don't think people understand how special it is to see that in person. It's from his bedroom. Like, it's from his bedroom. And it was something that he, you know, I just wonder how many times he looked at that. You know, he had moments of just look, you know, it's special.
It's something like super, super personal to him, which is like really cool to be let into that space, to be able and like experience that. And it's like the same thing with Linda's cross. Like I feel like that's an item that we hear a lot about. Like if you read Linda's book, like you know about it. And it's not on display at Graceland. I don't think it's been on display for a while. And like seeing an actual video of that, I was like, oh my God, like there it is. It looks so different, I feel like, compared to the like photos like of him wearing it in the 70s, because they're so grainy, so we can't see it really. But seeing like a clear photo and video of like the stones in it, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
It's just the amount of times he would have worn it too, and it's just like that. It's just that. I mean, I know that these jumpsuits, like there are other special things, but to me, that was like that was probably two of the things that stood out the most to me. That there are other things that are very, very special that I want to share, but I'm just like holding off. Like I said, it's honestly just a personal choice that I just want people to go in there and see it for the first time, not through someone else's eyes. That's honestly why it is. Like I could post everything if I wanted to, but I really just really want it to be special because we don't get stuff over here. We don't.
No. Yeah.
Oh, Victoria said Elvis is touring the world as he always wanted.
My heart. Unwell.
I know.
Unwell. I'm crying. That's like why I was when in our last couple episodes we asked Angie if like there was a possibility that this exhibit would go anywhere else, because I think it's so special that people who can't get to Graceland are seeing this stuff, because there's nothing like seeing something that Elvis Presley has touched or worn or affected his life in some way, or something that you've read about that you can't believe, like that's the item like right in front of you. So I love that. And so you would 1,000% recommend everyone go?
Yes, 100%. It's they've done it so it's affordable too. They haven't been like, hey, like it's affordable and it's very easy. Like you come off of the train or the tube and there's signs everywhere and it's like a 2-minute walk. Like they've put it in such a great location for people to see where to get there quickly. And it's just like, honestly, I got off of the tube and I was like, oh, there it is. Like that's so simple. And it's just, yeah, there's not like getting lost. It's the worst.
Which is the best thing, because it's like for people with social anxiety and they have to know every single direction to like get somewhere, to see the sign, you're like, I know where I'm going. We have a couple of fan questions. We always ask fan questions because we love taking everyone's questions. Okay. So the first question is from Elvis Always, and we can go ahead and all come up with an answer for these questions. And it says, if you could bring anything home from Graceland, just one thing, what would it be?
I know.
That's like really hard, actually.
I already know what I want.
What do you want, Victory?
Thank you for asking. I want the peacock stained glass windows in my home.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be something. I mean, like, I would have to disassemble the house and take those out, but I would love those. Can you imagine, like, above your door or something, or, like, in your living room? Like, so beautiful when the light shines in. It just creates color. I want that.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what about you?
Well, I haven't been there yet, so it might change, like, when I go there. But as of right now, I'd probably take the office chair from the Welcome Back from the Army interview.
Yes. It's so funny because Riley said in the chat, Kelsey's is something from the Army exhibit. I know it.
You said that. But I don't know, like, oh, is it from the exhibit too? We can
I was going to say, it could also be like just a personal item of his. It doesn't have to be straight from like.
But could you imagine having that office chair, like sitting in it in your house?
I can't get over Victoria's comment. His bed, I would never get out of it.
It's huge.
That's a given, yeah.
Yeah. Ellie, do you have one?
Yeah, I think I would have one of his like spiritual books that he had and he'd written in. I find that very interesting, and there's a lot of meaning behind that. So that's honestly what I would choose. Or honestly, the Bible was so special to him. One of his copies, like there's just something really special about that.
I agree. Okay, this is actually a quick tangent question. Is the prophet that is on exhibit in London, is that the one that June gave him? Like, do we think that is the copy?
What, in the where? Sorry, could you repeat that?
In the London exhibit, like, you know how they had the Prophet there, like a copy of the Prophet. Do we think that is the exact copy that June gave him?
I think they would have said.
Okay, that's
like
what
it doesn't say on.
Yeah.
It just says some books from Elvis's personal collection, and I think it would highlight that if it was.
I agree.
Then how would they know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like reading that though is so special. Like just to see like another item like that, I just had to ask for 2 seconds. I think I would probably want a piece of jewelry. I don't have a specific one. I would literally like love like the horseshoe ring or like the TCB ring or like any of like the really special rings. Like I would love to have. I also think like Ginger's engagement ring is like really beautiful. Like they have it. Yeah, they have it. They have it on the Elvis.
I thought we were talking about inside the house. I feel like I wouldn't take a chair if I had to pick anything from Great. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Like I'm not.
It was. Let me tell you, it did say
I'm talking about a chair.
Bring anything home from Graceland. So
we were specifically talking about like inside the house, and I'm trying to think of things. I don't know what's in there, and now I feel like shallow because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take a chair, and you.
No, but like that has like sentimental meaning to you, so I don't think there's any like wrong answer.
We wouldn't expect anything less from you, Kelsey. You picked an army idol.
Wouldn't you want the actual army suit?
Well, yeah, that's what I want to change. I want to change my answer. Like, when
you can change your answer? Would you like to change it?
No, but it just sounds like I'm saying, oh, I want to take a chair, and you guys are like, oh, I'd take a ring, and I'd take his books, and well, of course I would.
Angelina said Kelsey carrying the chair out of Graceland. I love this. Okay. Moving on to the next question.
Oh my god.
Cassie Love asked any book recommendations to an Elvis fan who wants to read about him. I feel like this is a question made for Ellie and Kelsey, so I'm gonna let y'all take it away with this one.
I honestly would, if you're starting fresh, I would start with Last Train to Memphis, and then move to Careless Love, and then explore where you want to go from that, because there's so many different stories, so many different point of views. But I always, if someone asks me that, I always say, I just read whatever you can. There's a lot of people that sort of go, I wouldn't read that book, I wouldn't read that. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's important to hear everybody's story personally. But that's the books I would start with, and then I would honestly explore all of them.
I honestly think that's a really great answer, because exactly what you said, a lot of people will be like, don't read that book, and it is extremely important to get every single perspective. Like, read what you can about him. Like, if you can get your hands on a book, read it. Why not? Maybe you might learn something, or maybe it might be filled with things that you already knew. So, but I agree. I think Last Train to Memphis and Careless Love are a great first starts, and then go on your path from there. I feel like I can't like properly speak on this because I'm really bad with reading, and Kelsey's gonna give me a look. And I'm in the middle of like 3 Elvis books, so I'm sorry, but I'll finish June's book next. That's where I think I'm for sure finish June.
Done with that one?
On a plane. She'll finish it on a plane. That's what she says every time.
Yes, I will.
Finish it on the plane, and then.
So, okay, Kelsey, what are your recommendations?
I mean, yeah, Last Train to Memphis and Careless Love are like the Elvis Bibles, I feel, because he pulls from a lot of the other books too, and I was so naive when I started reading these books that I actually read Careless Love first, and then realized it was like a set, you know?
Yeah.
So then I had to. But I've read those books a couple times, and I love them. And then also, I mean, yeah, I want to know everybody's point of view. Like, everybody in his life had a different opinion, and you just kind of gotta, I don't know, it's keep an open mind. And But like obviously like June's book is one of my favorite books.
Mine too. I just finished that one and it broke me. Like
Right.
I wanted to stay within the first few chapters because it was like their sweet spot. And you know how every book ends with them in relationships.
Right. Right. And it's just like that summer love. Like if you've had that, you just like know like the excitement and just, oh my God. I just love that book so much. And it has like happy feelings throughout most of it, you know, and
I love that they were talking about in Florida. It was so nice to be in a state where I recognized like the places they were talking, like Orlando, Lakeland, Tampa, like all these places he was driving through. And I was like, I live here. I want to go visit them. I want to see where like he performed and see if they have anything.
You say you have to like go visit those spots now that you know where they are.
I know. I'm hesitant though since Hard Rock, they have the army jacket there, Kelsey. Hard Rock does. So if you want that, it's not from Graceland, but I mean, we might be able to get away with it.
It's okay. That's okay. I'm biased. I'll take any one I can get. But that's what I was thinking, like about Sky. Like we should go to Tucson and like if they still have that, like where he performed there, like go see that. Yeah. And then didn't he like? I know he performed in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, it was next to the state fair, which is like. Area, but we could always just team up together. Right. So, but I always
it's not like we haven't been yelled at by a homeless person before. I mean,
I always forget that he didn't just come to Phoenix; like he went to Tucson.
Right.
I always forget that. So I think we actually should do this. I do need to ask though: did you notice during Careless Love that you were reading it backwards, or were you like?
Well, like I wasn't even aware. Like I was just like, oh, I knew it was the later part of his life, but like I didn't know that it was like there was a big. I don't know. It was like honestly, I read Elvis and Me, and I think that was the next book I read. So
yeah,
I literally had no idea.
That's a really easy read. If you guys just like want a quicker girlfriend one to read, you'll get through Elvis and Me really quick.
I thought you were talking about Careless Love. I was like,
oh no. Careless Love and Last Train is going to take y'all quite a second. So, but yeah, great recommendations, everyone. Or Victory, do you have any other recommendations other than
honorable mention? Baby, Let's Play House. If you're into his relationships, that's a really good one to start with to get a ground for like who knew him, because there's so many books and like I thought it was just only Priscilla, then I ran into Linda's and then Ginger's and June's, and just the story keeps going. So that gives you like a good little bubble of like who to go next to if you like the girlfriends and their relationships. June Juanico, obviously. Elvis and Me, obviously. Mixed feelings. I know some people have this, but Ginger Alden's book is actually really good. I know like the last years of Elvis' life is like really hard to read, but she touches it in a way that's very kind and gentle in her personal experience. So that's also a good one to read. And I love Baby Let's Play House. That's one of my favorites.
And Larry's book. So Larry's book. I loved it.
Yes.
It was so beautiful, and I cried a lot reading that book.
I'm about to start that one, so I'll mentally prepare myself.
Yeah.
All right.
I think as well, Charlie Hodges' book's quite good. That's one that I thoroughly enjoyed. It gives you like Kelsey the army days and stuff. Because that's when they met properly.
Yes.
It's just really interesting to hear someone like Charlie was so close to him all the time. So it's nice to hear his stories too.
Their relationship is so cute. Anytime you see videos of them on stage together, like I love it. And it's just so funny because he's so small and then Elvis is like up here and you just like love it. It's adorable.
All right. Well, Danny is asking, how do you guys know so much about Elvis? You guys are so knowledgeable. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you.
Literally, it consumes my life. Right? So, I don't have an outside life. Like this is no.
Literally. I feel like a lot of how I've learned is honestly through a lot of people in the community, like not just reading the books are super important because like a lot of stuff out there can not be factual, like on Instagram or TikTok, but a lot of people do really great research on Instagram, especially.
Yeah.
And so I just go through and read people's posts, and like usually like I'll share one if I really like it. Or you'll see on other people's Instagrams, you'll see when one kind of goes around everyone's stories, you're like, okay, that's probably a really good post because everyone's sharing it.
Right.
So then I'll read from that. And a lot of times they're also excerpts from books. So then you're like, oh, okay, like that was in that book. Like maybe I'll go read that book next. So it's a lot of just like learning from different people in the community, that's another thing that I really love about this community is that we're all learning from each other, because it's like, if I like have a question about a random thing, like I can text Ellie and be like, hey, do you know like what actually happened with this? And maybe she'd know. And if she doesn't know, I can text Kelsey. Like I just love it. Like that's how I learn. And then of course, like reading books doing your research on the internet and stuff is like another great resource as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just extremely interested, in everything. Like, even if I see like a piece of jewelry I've not seen before, I will be researching that for hours. Where did it come from? How many did he have? Did he gift it? That's honestly, so I research through books, but I also am just like, I fixate on things, I think. And then I need all of the answers all at once about just the tiny little things.
I mean, it's such like a rabbit hole thing. Like I'll Google something that I find, and then I see a photo. I'm like, what's that? And so like I click on that, and then there's like an article about a ring or whatever, and then it's like it's so easy to just like keep going down the rabbit hole of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy too because it's like just researching about him and learning about him is it just helps with like stress, like to get away from work, to get away from this reality that is sometimes really, really stressful. It's a nice release, and to get lost in like Elvis history is so calming. It's like so rewarding too, of like, found what I was looking for. Now I have that knowledge.
Yes. Yeah. When you find the answer for yourself, it's like, whoa, like I did that. I found what I was looking for. And like it's also like, of course, like we're all older, like we're not in school anymore. It's like a different way of like keeping our brains like kind of active too, if you think about it like that, like doing new research on stuff that we don't know. Like, I don't know, I think it's really cool. And I think like Riley described it perfectly. She said it's like a full-time job that you actually enjoy and you're never off the clock because Elvis info is everywhere.
Totally.
Nailed it.
Totally.
You nailed it.
Totally.
I love it.
Tori said there's a TikTok account called Elvis the Man that has his live performances from the audience point of view.
I love that.
I didn't know about that. That's actually really cool.
I have to put
the
charger in real quick, so you guys keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. We have Janetta just says, hi, Kelsey.
Hi. I love Janetta. She's so sweet.
That was it for that one. And then we have one more from Pam. What is your favorite Elvis song?
So for me, I can never pick one. Like if people ask me, I sort of say, If I Can Dream's really powerful. It's got a powerful message. But every week I have a new Elvis song that I'm like obsessed with. And it will be going back to old ones. And then, just things like that. So for me, that's what it is like, I love If I Can Dream, if I have to answer. But like at the moment, I love Way Down. Like
one.
So I can't answer it as one, Yeah,
I get it. It's constantly changing, like with your mood.
Yeah.
I totally feel that. Kelsey?
First off, I have to say hi to Angelina in the chat. I miss you, girl. Okay. Yeah, it literally changes weekly. It's all about my mood. But like my top ones are Kentucky Rain, like that's my jam. And I remember like the first time I heard, I remember exactly where I was when I first heard it and like how I felt. And so it's always just like so special to me. And then, yeah, like You'll Never Walk Alone. There's Always Me. Like I'm really, I mean, no, it's so hard. First in Line. Any Places Paradise. Like, oh my God, there's just so many. but I'm very like drawn. I love 70s, but like I'm very drawn to like his early 60s like love ballads. Like it's I just his voice. I don't know. So those are my favorite. But
I do have to say,
I think as well the Steamroller Blues.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't say Steamroller Blues.
I know, actually, that is probably it gets me feeling a certain way.
Yeah,
it's too good.
Anytime that comes on shuffle, Ellie, I immediately think of you. I want you to know that.
I'm obsessed with that song. I'm obsessed. So that's my favorite, 100%.
Victory, what's your favorite?
Mine's so basic, but I get like, yeah, it's Love Me Tender. That song means like the world to me. It just reminds me of my husband and I. So it just has like a lot of sentimental value, not only for like how he sings it, but like in my heart. I just cry every time it comes on. Every freaking time. You can turn it on and I'll start bawling my eyes out. So, but again, it's always changing. It's just like repeat songs. It's different every week. But like I try not to play Love Me Tender too much because I don't want to get like over to the point where I'm like not emotional about it anymore because you get so desensitized to some things. So that's a song I play once in a while.
Yeah. I feel like I always say this. A lot of people know my answer to this. So my answer is I have 3 favorite songs. It is Just Pretend, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, and I've Got Confidence. And I don't tend to change. I'm like the same thing that everyone has said. Like a new song every week will like catch my attention and I'm playing one song over another. But the thing with those 3 songs is I get this certain type of feeling like anytime they come on shuffle or anytime they come on, like especially with I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, like it's such a basic 50s song, but when that comes on, I'm like, this is my fucking song, bro. Like it just makes me feel some type of way. And like same with Just Pretend, like Just Pretend literally has me crying because you picture it as Elvis speaking to us. And then I've Got Confidence, I think is a really fun one for me because I'm not a very religious person and it is a gospel song, but I love it so much and like I love the message behind it. Like if I ever need like a little pump up moment, like I literally put on that song. So yeah, those are my favorite songs.
I just love also though, like some people are so scared to admit like their favorite song is a basic song, but I don't think there's anything wrong with like being basic and like love the originals because that's what started us to like love Elvis. So
like the basic song, like Can't Help Falling in Love, or like even like Pocket Full of Rainbows. I don't care what's going on. That song comes on and like the first couple words he sings, I'm like levitating out of my seat every time. Like, so every time. So it's you gotta love the basic the basic ones.
It's the same thing with I Can't Help Falling in Love, like it's right. It's everyone knows that song, everyone uses that song, everyone covers that song, but Elvis's version, like it hits and it makes you want to bawl your eyes out, and it's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing
every time.
Yeah.
A lot of people have like deep meaning to that song too, like events in their life or people choosing it for certain when they pass and things like that. It's very much it's a deep song, like it's nice in a way that there's a real deep meaning to something.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Ooh, I like the song topic. There's so many to choose from, and I love the meaning behind everyone's choice. Even in the audience section, there's giving some really good ones.
Yeah.
American Trilogy, yeah.
That one's always good. What are some Suspicious Minds? Wonder of You, yes.
Wonder of You is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Release Me is another good one. You Gave Me a Mountain. Mm-hmm. All bangers. Honestly, all bangers.
All of them.
What'd you say, Ellie?
All of them.
All of them. Literally all of them. Well, we have to end with one question. We can't have an Elvis in the Pink Cadillac episode and not ask you this question. So I'm going to have Victory ask you this question.
What is your Elvis fixation of the week?
You can't.
You guys go first.
Oh no. Victory gets to go.
There's so many. Like, it's a daily thing. Like the other.
There was someone posted some photos today. Was it you, Kelsey? It was like him in that brown outfit and his sideburns were like really chiseled. Who was that posted that today?
No, that was
you know what I'm talking
EP
about?
or Hillbilly. Was it?
Oh yeah,
God.
yes. It is like the most. I've never seen those photos before. He's in like a brown jacket, right, or something.
Again, what's your fixation? I'm sorry.
My fixation is the fringe suits, the fringe suits right now.
Which one? Do you have a specific one?
No, just all of them. They're all great. I love them all.
Ellie?
Mine's probably the flame. I can't think of the name right now. The flame jumpsuit with all the flames on. It's in the London exhibit, and I couldn't stop staring at it. And I got my nails done for it, but I haven't shared them yet. They're inspired.
Oh my gosh! I can't wait to stop. I'm really excited.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Your favorite set of nails so far?
Not so. No, I've got like a few, but like when I looked, I was like, they're just so different. They're just, they're just like eye catching. I love them.
That's exciting.
Cool.
My fixation probably. This is hard. It's gonna be June's book. It's definitely. I'm still fixed on the fact that he traveled through Florida, and I want to go visit all the places that he was and everything. It was just so weird to hear Elvis talk about like Orlando and Lakeland. Also, okay, June named her daughter Tori, which is really weird because growing up, that was my nickname. People called me Tori. And just to know Elvis heard a nickname of mine, unwell. Literally, June was like introducing her kids to Elvis or telling him about him. And she was like, my daughter's name is Tori. And I was like, he knows of me. But that's my fixation of the week. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in today's episode of Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs. Kelsey, Ellie, we are so happy that you joined us today. How can people find you or link up with you if they want to follow you on the socials?
I'm Basic B 123 on TikTok and Basic B Co on Instagram.
And I'm Elvis Els on Instagram, and I'm Elstrations on TikTok.
Well, thank you guys again. Go follow them. They are amazing. And until next time, you guys, TCB and TLC. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs.
To connect with us, follow us on our socials at Elvis and the Pink Cadillacs on Instagram and TikTok.
And share your Elvis stories and experiences with us at elvisandthepinkcadillacs@gmail.com, and you may be featured in the next episode.
We'll see you next time, and for now, TCB
and TLC. Bye!
Bye!